Okay, pod people. We're gonna see if this works, and then we're gonna crank one out for you. I decided like I look a little good right now. I'm feeling good right now. Maybe I'll pull in a little bit so you can see sexy. I'm feeling good right now. I'm looking good right now, and I want to give you guys a video. I feel like you guys deserve something while I'm in this headspace. I don't again. It feels like we're adding a bunch of series, but really by 2026, like the beginning of 2026, everything should be really fleshed out and consistent at that point. So don't really worry about making too many changes. But for now, I'm just making sure that we can develop the fundamentals so the consistency can be consistent. But I've decided the podcast, those are kind of long, and I'm not quitting the podcast at all. I've decided it's going to be super important if I do the podcast with other people and other intellectual people instead of just trying to show you guys, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm smart, I'm smart. But one thing I do understand that could be very helpful, especially in an intellectual sense, is turning those podcast ideas I already have notes written for, I just turn them into Substack articles and let actual intellectual people receive those and share those and communicate those and help me find community and build identity out of that. Uh, I'm somebody who complains a lot about being on TikTok, but I spend a lot of time posting on it, um, refusing to recognize not only the algorithm sending my content out to everybody and then everybody hating it, so it doesn't get shown to my audience, but also just because like the level of intellect is very niche on TikTok. If you're fortunate enough to find it, you can go to the moon. But if you don't, and you're just sitting there with the ignorance and the bullshit that is normally fed on there, where you're gonna feel like you're stupid, or you're just gonna think the whole world's full of stupid people, and you're just trying to find your place in it. So I'm glad there's more niche platforms that are opening up. This is what creative consciousness is supposed to be for artists anyway. But I'm glad there's more niche platforms opening up for people that have or seek for intellect and wisdom beyond the mercy of the algorithm and what is hot by virality. Get that out of the way. So Substack, I'll be putting articles on there, and maybe not, probably not, because dude, I want time to chill too. After I crank out these ideas, I still need some downtime. So we'll do one of those a week. I'll figure out what, like $6 a month or something for exclusive, and then we'll do free. I'll do like once a month or two a month. And then I'll be making these vlogs. And the thing that I wanted to say about these vlogs, a little transition we're making, is one of these vlogs a week will be like Big Brother talk. That's these conversations I'm having right now. Just and I had a lot of imposter syndrome around this because I'm a black sheep of my family, but I was the youngest kid in that family. And I think I was meant for so long to feel as if I was just the most, like, for lack of better terms, stupid. And I know you guys think African family, patriarchal society, oh, you're the youngest son in a family and you have two sisters, and everyone's super like patriarchal, or at least serving to those standards. Like, how are you not like the golden child? And you haven't like fucked up, like you haven't had any kids, you haven't gone to jail, you haven't like abused anything or anybody. Like, why is life not easy for you? Oh God. But the way that I'm gonna go heal from my own trauma, instead of just like basically asking people to believe what I'm saying, because when you come from a narcissistic family situation, nobody really is going to believe you because it's so drastic more times than not, whether it's a peer-to-peer relationship or a parental to child relationship. The abuse is usually so like nichely sadistic. I hope nichely is a word, but so it's so abusive and so abhorrent in so many very niche ways, as if like the narcissist or the sociopath, whoever you're dealing with, like it's like they genuinely hate you, and making your life a living hell is the bane of their existence. So much so it's like it's more important than them needing to like eat and sleep and literally be a human being to meet their own needs. That's the scary shit. So something I've had a lot of imposter syndrome, going no contact with my family and really having to start an identity or create a life from my true inspiration and my true intentions. But as thankful as I am for that, I think the best way that I can go about healing is not just say the trauma that I've been through, because I understand a lot of people have gone through bad shit and probably some worse shit than me. But it's important for me to it's almost like I'm speaking to my inner child to remind my inner child, hey, in that time, like linear time, you are experiencing horrible shit. And it seems hopeless. It seems impossible. It seems like you're never going to make it out. It seems like you're destined for this for the rest of your life. There's so much more to you. You just aren't being allowed to access it, or you haven't awakened it yet. Stay true to you. That's what this, like the big brother portion of these series are. I have 2 series titled Shamanic Healing Series and Dream Chasers Insanity. Both of those will kind of go one in one. One about, and then I also like to split them, the 2 of them. 1, because I'm a Gemini, and 2, because of my autism and my ADHD. I think they work so intertwined that if I can create accommodation in the intellectual sense for my ADHD and for my autism and allow them to live together like buddies or like fraternal twins, then I'll be able to find a lot more balance in my life than trying to get any validation whatsoever from a neurotypical trying to force me to be a human. So, closing it all down. Shamanic Healing Series is going to be like, hey, big bro who got kicked out of the house because parents hate him, but he's just so cool and so rad and so sexy and just gets everything he wants. I wish. He's giving you advice, reminding you that the that you're going through is temporary and you are forever. You are forever. It doesn't matter, bro. If you decided to die tomorrow, you still live forever. You're just going to live in a different timeline, in a different body, in a different universe. You might as well find a way at least to enjoy this life that you have right now, because there is a reason you're here, not to suffer. I genuinely think that we're not here to suffer. We're here to self-discover on this planet, bro. But when we live under these systems of oppression and hatred and pain and suffering, that's all we can do, especially if we don't have access to our humanity by our identity. Black, woman, neurodivergent. Like, underneath these colonial systems, your humanity is sacrificed to make profit or to make somebody feel good about themselves. And we all know who that person is, bro. Or those type of people are. I shouldn't be adding this into this video, but one interesting conversation I want to have is that, isn't it interesting how far back societies are, like how ignorant societies are, no matter how much wealth or how much military power they have? Isn't it interesting how deranged they are when they still struggle, or like their political debate is still heavily focused over deciding what human beings deserve human rights? Like, we cannot develop a fundamental standing. I don't know if slavery developed this or just white supremacy developed it in a philosophy sense, but the fact that you can have human beings that are by human law, that is agreed upon by people, you can decide that a human being, flesh and blood in their biology, is not a human being, not because they are not a human being, but because somebody of power who can have opportunity to acquire and own them can then do non-human or inhumane things to this non-human being. Look at what is it? Crocodile concentration camp that's happening in Florida right now. These immigrants aren't destroying the country. Elon Musk and his PayPal mafia buddies came in and ran a Doge ball, a Doge wrecking ball through the federal government. And you think that has nothing to do with why there was a government shutdown and no SNAP benefits? At least potentially. You think that has nothing to do with the increase in anti-intellectualism that will inevitably come from people spending more time online because it's free and they have access to it than actually being in institutions of education and higher learning? Not to mention, these same billionaires that destroyed the government are telling all young people, you hate school, huh? You shouldn't go to college. It's such a waste to go to college. Join our accelerator startup program. Get out! You know who the discouragement to go to college is being meant for? Not for these white kids who are already rich and don't have to go to college. It's for marginalized people to remember that you don't deserve nothing but a low-skilled, low-wage, underpaying slave job. So you don't go to college, so you don't learn anything but what you are told on TV and what you are told by your master and his children. While these kids who don't go to college because they're just so much better than it, those kids are already pigs. They were already going to get into Ivy League schools. So the only other option was to go to fucking college. For you, the other option than college is literally dying or homelessness or wage slave forever. I don't even know how we got to that conversation. I'm really sorry, bro. But Shamanic Healing series is supposed to be like the addressing the autism and like the healing part. And Dream Chasers Insanity is supposed to address the ambition and the ADHD side of my brain. And I try to put those two together in as many videos as I can to show us that there is so much more to us, especially as marginalized people, than the world wants us to see, especially during these times. Oh, we got to this conversation because I was saying a society that has to argue what human beings deserve human rights is already 1,000 years in the past. Because you have to think about, again, these colonial countries and their history and scribes, they say that all indigenous people of any land, especially Africans and native indigenous Americans, are ignorant and they're stupid and we just walk around naked and just playing games and doing art all day. They never had any laws to discourage or dispute the humanity of a human being, other than being tied to punishing the character of a human being that can be addressed and that can be healed from. But colonialism decided to say that human being is not a human being, not because it's not a human being. Because mind you, Europe was in the Dark Ages before they ended up doing the global colonialism. But because I want to do inhumane things to them. That's why that's not a human being. Remember that, remember that, remember that, remember that. Remember that when... Let's get into the conversation. This is actually a good video. All right. Today's video, I feel like, and this is a video that's been kind of sitting on my mind for a little bit, but I feel like talking about... I have my little notes here if you see me looking down. This episode I wanted to call Higher Quality Dreams Leads to Lower Quantity Friends. Now, mind you, the high quality dream doesn't have to be being a millionaire or being super famous. The high quality dream could just be self-acceptance. Like it could just be recognizing that you masked your whole entire life, pursuing self-acceptance at the mercy of your own well-being. And now you finally hit this crossroads where you have to decide, are you going to continue to do that and just be a shell of yourself in hopes that the validation other people give you will fill you up? Or are you willing to sacrifice the potential validation that you could get and that which you are receiving for masking for the sake of being able to accept yourself? And the hope, not even the guarantee, but the hope that other people can accept you as you are. And not only accept you as you are, but give you the space to become everything that you have the potential to be on this journey without trying to like drag you back into this box that they've put you in for their own comfort and convenience. All right. I've decided, not even decided, I keep saying that shit. But as you grow into your adulthood, especially, that's why I think like you need to be really experimental in your 20s and in your like young adult years, because as you grow into your adulthood, and I'm not saying I'm like some crazy age or anything. I'm only 24 years old myself, but I had to grow up mad early because my parents were like, especially my mom hated me, bro. She's like, I'm not doing anything for you and you're going to do everything for me. And if you need help, you pray to God, let God help you. That's literally my mom. So insane. But I think once you get to adulthood, you're going to realize that all these big dreams and goals that people had, oh, I'm going to go to this university and then get this job. I'm going to go to this state and just move there and have a family of 6 kids in this nice house. And most people are not where they want to be in life. They're either struggling like in this existential crisis to get there to where they want to be in life, or, and mind you, it's not even like an actual pursuit. It's almost like a loop of trying to, or convincing themselves they're trying to get there, but not doing anything physically to change things to get there. So they're just in this loop of, well, I hope, I wish, but, and then everybody else is in this position to where this is as much as they think they deserve, this is as much as they think they can get, and this is good. So they're just going to stop trying. So you have the people that are believers, but they're not doers. And then you have the people who just quit believing and just accepted whatever they had given to them. That's a majority of adults in this reality. I'm telling you that right now. If you're a dreamer, you're going to be so discouraged having conversations about your dreams. If you're a visionary, you're going to be so discouraged around these people because they don't believe in themselves. These people don't care about themselves. Mind you, it could be because they have greater responsibilities than themselves. Their children, their rent, their mortgage, whatever it is. But if you're a dreamer, bro, you're going to look delusional. You're going to look absolutely delusional to somebody who is struggling to survive and pay their bills immediately. You're sitting here talking about being a millionaire, talking about going to trips whenever you want, and talking about having like a weekend. I'll take a week off whenever I want. And these people are sitting here saying, well, weekends is literally the only time I have any time to be myself. And that I'm a parent, so I don't even have weekends off. So like I'm really just struggling every single day with no salvation in sight unless my kid becomes a millionaire. Should have bet on myself, but so once you accept that most people didn't achieve their dreams and didn't get to where they want to be at, the people who are achieving their dreams and are where they want to be at are usually in groups around each other, supporting each other, encouraging each other, because of how discouraging and hopeless the outside world of everyday people are. It's almost like that derogatory term that athletes made for regular people, non-athletic regular people. But it's true. And we'll explain this more as I get into this video. But most people are struggling to survive their current circumstances. And if being great or achieving their real goals and dreams requires more effort out of them than just suffering day to day right now, it seems impossible because they already can't handle what's happening today right now. But you've taken that and decided to say, well, if life's already hard, why can't I just work hard to live a life that I want? Like, why would I work hard to suffer? Like, that's a double negative. I don't want to fucking work hard for no reason. And capitalism loves to convince us that it's merit, it's your humanity, it's your civic duty. No, bro. Especially being neurodivergent. You guys don't give a fuck about me. There's no accommodations in the workplace for me. There's no accommodations anywhere. I mean, the best thing that you can do is invalidate my autism or my ADHD. And then punish me for the same exact traits that I'm trying to tell you I need accommodation for because they're related to my autism, ADHD. But you're like, no, you're lying. You're lying. I think this is an initiation process for dreamers. I genuinely think this is an initiation process for dreamers and non-traditional life people. And the worst people are not even the people who aren't where they wanted to be in life. The worst people are the ones who know they're not going to support you when you start pursuing that path, but they encourage you to start it anyway, just so they can kick your ass off the ledge and then as you're at the bottom of fucking the Grand Canyon, they're yelling at you like, "That was a stupid ass idea, huh? Fucking dumbass." And then you're like, wait, you're encouraging me to start this business and to sell these t-shirts or to sell these notebooks. And you're telling me you're the biggest supporter. I have the website up. I need to pay a bill. And then a nigga wants to come around and say, oh, next week. I get paid next week. Oh, I'll get you next week. I'll get you next month. You know what that's about, bro? That's about, I don't believe in this shit. I'm not asking you to pay a medical bill. I'm not asking you to fucking to move the earth, Atlas. I'm not asking you to hold the universe. I'm asking you to show some credibility, some validation to the art that I'm producing, assuming that you're my friend. That's why a lot of you guys should start running brands and businesses like at a young age to really see who fucks you and who doesn't. Because I'm telling you, them rich kids, they're not just rich because they make a whole lot of sales. They're rich because they do the first drop of whatever they're making, a clothing brand, to this brand, family and friends, and all the family and friends buy it. And then they start wearing it. They start showing it off to their friends and their people, and it starts network effect. Are you kidding me? Like your friend who sees more people than you doesn't want to wear your t-shirt, which would organically help marketing. Because if your friend who has friends that you don't see engages with them and they like it, and then they start buying it and they happen to share with their friends, the only thing they could do, especially if it's free, the only thing they could do is help you by organic marketing in a world where advertising costs. And they don't even want as much as to purchase from you. Representing, they don't even want to know that you have anything going on. That's not a friend, bro. That's not a friend. That's somebody that you let go, bro. That's somebody that you allow to sit in their own limitations, to live their own measly little suffering ass life, and you continue to take risks, you continue to take chances, and you continue to create new opportunities and new timelines for yourself. And you continue to do laps around that person who is sitting in their own ignorance and in their own self-limitations and limiting beliefs because you're living on your timeline. And the only thing that was slowing you down wasn't that you couldn't do your dreams. It was because you were around somebody that needed to discourage you to keep you on their pace because they knew they couldn't keep up with your pace on your authentic pace, especially as it pertained to your real journey. That's what it is for us dreamers, bro. The things you got to sacrifice, the decisions you got to make are beyond adult, super mature. Because people can't play games. They can't play this childish shit around you if you genuinely care about yourself, if you genuinely respect your journey and your path. Don't let people play around you. Because the only people that are going to play around you are people that don't have to fucking lose, bro. Or they don't care about what they have going on themselves. And why the would you want to sacrifice the love of yourself and the ability to control and maintain your reality for somebody who doesn't give a about theirs? Never do that. Stay the outcast. Stay the outcast and let your people come and find you. Because we're not trying to get into any in-group that makes us sacrifice ourselves for that cheap-ass validation. That's fake as straight up. Mind you, I've gone on the journey already where you have... I've gone on the journey already where you think people are there for you and like your empathy. For me, it's my autistic empathy and my ignorance to people just being horrible human beings. But I've realized a handful of things on this journey as I've never given up on my dreams and damn near lost everything in my life about them. So dreams come true. I'm dying over here. If they can't convince you to quit on the path that you're on to maintain the relationship with them, they're going to try to infect your inner critic and get you to quit on yourself. It's I don't want to say sadistic because that's just like kind of diluting the actual term, but it's fucking mean. I'm going to say that word a lot. It's mean, bro. It's childish. It's mean. It's selfish. A lot of people do, and I'm telling you, you know what's actually crazy? A lot of dudes, I'm not sure if this is the right or wrong position to insert this into the conversation, but a lot of rappers do this with whether it's pop stars or it's just like famous women, impregnating them at just random points, at like these super young points in their career, to make them a mother, like a baby mama to a rapper, rather than to allow them to be the fullness of who they are, and then them being the supportive character in the background. Or maybe them having to compete with like other bachelors who are way, way, way more suitable for marriage and for family and relationship than these rappers are. You have to really sit here and think these rappers are hitting licks, bro. And they're hitting licks by getting rich baby mamas. DDG, rich baby mama. Travis Scott, rich baby mama. Kanye West, rich baby mama. I understand that Kanye and the Kim situation, it's a mutual, it's like a mutual masturbation type situation. They're both feeding each other's inner desire. But these rappers are hitting licks. And this is why, like, I'm so pro-abortion, pro-choice, pro-women making the decision as to what goes on the inside of their body. Because a lot of women don't understand, or they do understand, but they don't understand the actual severity of how much potential they had if they never had kids. Especially for the people that they're having kids with. Like, that's a lame. Like, if you couldn't take care of those kids, your husband or whoever is your baby daddy would not take care of the kids either. The only reason why you think he would is because you got to beg him to take care of the kids out of guilt, and you're the one doing all the work. But you could be spending all of your time working on your dreams, your goals, your passions, your career, whatever you want to do. And guess what? You're still fertile at 30, at 35, 40 even. Guess what? You might even decide in that 10, 15, 20 years from the time you're like a 15-year-old girl who people are preying on, you might decide that you don't even want kids. You might decide that you want to be a dog mom, a cat mom. Give yourself the time. Especially in a world where there's no federal government to save you. There's no real community systems because all social networking and community building has been destroyed by social media. There's no real live engagement anymore that gives us any type of resemblance pre-COVID. Make sure you're taken care of first. You have to be the person that sets that foundation. You have to be the person that says, not like, I'm not going to use other people to take care of me. I'm going to make sure that I'm taken care of first independently. And then with that type of awareness or that type of responsibility, I'm not going to allow, or at least I'll try not to allow, people to come up in here and fuck with me because they're fucking with me and this life that I'm taking care of myself. And I don't respect that. And if I can't respect you, there's no way in fucking hell I can love you. It's to continue back onto what I started this part of the video with. If they can't convince you to quit the journey, they're just going to convince you to quit on yourself. It's and a good example for that actually goes when you play with your video game homies or whatnot, or you I don't know, you smoke weed with some kid that you and your friends with, and then now you want to start going to the gym and you want to start taking your workout seriously. You don't want to just be a fiend. You don't want to just go out every single weekend and get drunk and then just like miss shots with super bad, beautiful women. You're like, you know what? Let me take care of my finances. Let me take care of my gym. Let me actually start reading more books and meditating. Your doctor would probably like start kissing your toes if you told them that. Your parent would probably start praising whatever Jesus they believe in, black, white, Asian. You like, but you bring this to this person, this so-called your friend, and they're like, huh? Like, you think you're better than me? And it automatically becomes competition. Like, what? Like this? What do you like? This is my life. What do you mean? Like, what? How did you even transition to think this is competition? I'm not competing with you. I like you. I with you. This is about me being able to genuinely not only accept myself, but appreciate myself and show myself that I'm actually loving and caring for myself by being responsible for myself. How did that become a bad thing? And don't even let me get started on social media making this chasing the validation of being a youthful, trendy person just like exacerbate the amount of time that people exist in this immature, ignorant headspace. You got 30-year-olds acting like 12-year-olds, bro, trying to date 16-year-olds. Absolutely atrocious, bro. Like, people don't sit here and go social media. Like, there's so much information and networking experience or opportunity on here. I should try to build myself to be as intellectual as I can, as capable, as skilled up as I can. People go, no. We can act like 12-year-olds talking shit on people in chat rooms and whatnot, so I'm just going to do that instead. Your ability to see through the discouragement that other people are trying to throw onto you is going to be directly connected to, if not rooted in, your ability to accept yourself. And it's going to take time. That's why it's difficult to be self-aware of this type of shit when you're in the relationship, because then you're going to have to sit here and think, oh, like, if accepting myself is an issue to this other person, it doesn't mean that they want what's best for me. It means they want me in a position to constantly give them what's best for them or to make them feel how they can't make themselves feel. And that's not good, especially when I have my own life to live. That's what I'm going to keep on reinforcing. I'm somebody who's come from a narcissistic, enmeshed family where, like, especially the parents don't want anybody to leave. They don't want anybody to be as successful as them, but they're both failures, so it's like it doesn't matter. Don't ever let them discourage you. And the best part is this, like if you, I'm not talking about just random dreams or like Coke dreams that you might have, like, oh, I want to run $1 billion business one day where we sell cat food to birds on pterodactyls. Like not some crazy, or like some AI note taker app. That's a better one to use. Because I guarantee you the pterodactyl would probably work better than the AI note taking apps. That's about where I was going with that. Just like, let me move on, because obviously there's nothing else to say in that. And my phone's dying. But as we can go back to that, speaking on just like self-acceptance is connected to your level of discernment. Just having discernment isn't going to help you. You know you're going to have to make a decision with that discernment, right? And you're going to have to believe that you made the right decision. Mind you, a good way to gauge that is just not like, you don't have to like abruptly, I hate you, you don't support me, you don't like me, fuck you, I'm not hanging out with you. Like, you don't have to do all that crazy stuff to like shut down a whole relationship. Because it could just be like, some people just don't understand your vision, or they're just not ready to receive it yet. And it's not because they don't like you or they're not willing to accept it. You just need to put more time and effort into it for them to be able to really start to trust. That's why I say give these things time. But when somebody who's consistently shutting you down, discouraging you, making you not feel like you are capable of, in a world where you haven't even failed yet, much less tried, come on. That person doesn't like you, bro. That person sees that any type of success you could have will inevitably lead to change, and change means that they're going to have to change or they're going to get left behind. That's a fact, bro. So these people would rather have you, literally would rather have you in a position to where you don't like yourself, but you don't leave them, rather than you liking yourself and recognizing that that person was not doing anything to support you in loving yourself and being able to grow into your potential. Because at the end of the day, that's what we came here to do. I started this video by saying that after the whole 20-minute intro, but we came to this earth to discover, not to suffer. I genuinely believe that 100%. And I think the suffering is something that not only we choose, not everybody.
For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
It's something that we create systems around perpetuating, but we choose to do. And we also, in choosing to suffer, we offload that suffering onto other people, or at least the responsibility of it onto other people, so we don't ever have to stop suffering. It's like a very abusive, toxic relationship where we're married to our trauma and our suffering, but we're so afraid of divorce and the consequence of divorce, we don't recognize the amount of potential and the benefit and the privilege that comes with being free from connecting ourselves to our trauma in a world where it's not like written in law, or it's not our destiny to suffer this whole entire experience. I made a TikTok video probably like 2 years ago saying 3 ways you're going to lose your friends as an autistic person: awakening, or like unmasking. Let me see if I can remember what those 3 things were. If not, I'll just literally plug the picture that I have, because I have it screenshotted. Maybe like a month or 2 ago I screenshotted it again. But it goes, they know you're autistic, or they know there's something off about you, and you don't know. So you're just like quirky, you're this kind of rambunctious, you're outside all the time, you're like kind of doing what you want. You're that person, but you don't recognize that you're autistic, or there's something that could potentially be wrong with you. Wrong in the sense that you don't have accommodation for it. All right? The relationship's great because they can just basically decide everything for you. They can position you how they want you. They can kind of slide you into whatever position. And I think I said that twice, my bad. But they can manipulate their relationship a lot more because you don't know. Especially because more times than not, you're masking and you're chasing their validation, or you're chasing the validation of some type of social standard to be seen as human. And you're probably overdoing it because you don't feel human naturally. So you're constantly chasing this feeling of humanity. Whether it's through connection, whether it's through validation, whether it's through community, like you want this feeling of humanness. And then there's the time where you start to recognize that you're autistic, and they start to see it, or they start to recognize subtle changes in how you're addressing yourself, and you maybe start to pull back from the validation seeking and the clout chasing, because you're realizing that this acceptance you're looking for comes within. you need to slow down. You need to accommodate. You need to address these things like burnout and these existential thoughts. And then you start having some animosity, some issues in the relationship. And then you find out that you're autistic, or you get to the conclusion that you're autistic, ADHD, you're neurodivergent. And they have already known, but now they know that you know. And now you're going to start wanting to bring shit up as to like, hey, I don't like how you did that. I remember, blah, blah, blah. I start going to backtrack shit. Retroactively looking at your whole entire life and how fucking much trauma you went through unnecessarily, unknowingly. And then oh, that's too deep. It's not that deep. You're taking shit too seriously. Blah, 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 left, right. There goes your friend. It's interesting how people, especially people considered friends, will make you choose between the friendship that you guys actively have and the path that you believe yourself to be on, or at least you want to be on, instead of even giving you an opportunity to start pursuing that. Another part about the discernment, you're going to have to decide whether your trust in that relationship and that person is more valuable than believing in yourself and who you could be. More times than not, after a certain point, people aren't going to show you anything new. Like old dogs don't learn new tricks. But you know, it's crazy. When you're on this process of self-discovery and self-development, there's always some next level to reach. There's always some like new face to turn. There's always some new experience, emotion. There's always something new to feel. It's always so real and so new. And it's always you. That's the craziest part about it. But other people are limited because most people are on the surface of their own self-awareness and identity. They haven't even dropped into their depth yet. And I think a lot of adults, back to my conversation, I don't know if I'm going to put this clip in the video, but I was having a conversation maybe to myself about how like, actually maybe that's a bad conversation. Every time I start wanting to have it, then I completely forget what I'm saying. If I remember it though, I'll speak on it. If I remember, I'll speak on it. Oh no, I do remember it. I think a lot of adults having kids young, other than being like kind of peer pressured by their family or their partner, I think a lot of it is to like establish a sense of identity as an adult or like as a credible adult at a very young age, because people just don't take children credibly. And let's not even get started if you're in school. But people don't take children credibly at all. So I think a lot of adults want to be seen as mature, responsible, this like grand human being. And they think the only way they can access that is by being a parent. And it's definitely sad because a lot of women feel the only way they can access that is by raising a family or by being parents. And that's just patriarchal indoctrination. You know how else you can prove that you're a responsible person? Paying rent every month, getting a job, running a business, taking care of a community, contributing to one, running organizations and contributing to others, organizations that are run by creatives and collectives in your city, being a stand-up citizen. That's responsibility. And I haven't even described laying up with somebody and carrying their children. All right. And you know what's even better? Being responsible for your sexual health and not having no kids. Seeing the clinic when you need to see the clinic, seeing the doctor when you need to see the doctor, taking care of yourself when you need to take care of yourself. Like, that's responsibility. That's and if that's where you're trying to get your maturity from, then stop automatically thinking that like having kids is going to be the thing that's just going to make you this stand up or this credible adult. Start taking responsibility for the little things in your life and just start increasing those little things as you go. Like, I want to change my life, my entire life. Let me change my sleep schedule. Let me change the food I'm eating. Let me change the exercise that I'm doing. Let me change the information that I put in my brain. Let me change the people that I hang around with. And just little things, not even all things at once, or not all the things in all of their thing. but just little things, one at a time. I want to read 10 minutes a day. I want to meditate 20 minutes a day. I want to speak to somebody that inspires me once a week. I want to rest every weekend for at least one day. Like, set new standards. Set new standards, bro. And the initiation process, it's almost like it's almost like a purging process, in the sense that you have to go into the cocoon. You're a caterpillar who goes into the cocoon to go on this wild transformative journey. And when you come out as a butterfly, the other caterpillars are looking at you confused because they don't recognize you. Like, you already shed that skin. And not only did you shed the skin, but you're literally a different creature. So you guys don't even communicate the same. Don't, one flies, one crawls. One... Just be a little self-aware about this stuff, all right? But you know, but the best part is, when you're somebody who is intentional about your life, you don't need that many friends. You don't need to be in all the friend groups, all the popular kids. You don't need any of that, bro. You need real people who are going to be there for the real you when you really need them. I promise you that. Real people who are really there for you when you really need them. Get you some of those, bro, and you're going to just enjoy life. You're going to enjoy going to the food places. You're gonna, and an amazing Substack article that one of my mutuals on TikTok made, that I'm low-key in love with, ended up saying, if you didn't have a support system, you shouldn't be dating. You should be developing a support system, or you should be developing a sense of community. And I think that's so damn right. And I think that's actually, so I'll actually just tag that the video in here. But let's not sit here and act like it's all like sweet and daisies and this is not rainbows and unicorns once you get to this place of self-acceptance, of deep self-acceptance. And that's another conversation that's important to add here, is that journey of self-acceptance might actually take you into solitude, but you have to realize this one thing, and this might be scary because I'm going to tell you exactly as it is. This is what I had to recognize. Solitude only gets you far enough from the world to get to yourself. A lot of people are in solitude or isolating themselves in an overbearing fashion because they've hidden from the world, and then now they're afraid to go back and present themselves to the world. Like, they spent all this time hiding from the world, whether it's escaping to work, escaping into this one relationship, escaping from everybody. But it's only made them more afraid, more ashamed, more locked into this little Pandora's box that will never get opened. When you go on this journey of seeking self-acceptance, you have to recognize you're accepting yourself to put yourself back in the world and to not be ashamed as to what the world thinks. Because you've been on that journey where it's just been you and whatever God you believe in and whatever fucking devil is scaring you. And the three of you had to decide you are somebody and you're going to be that in this life. Christians might get angry at me for saying that, but it's facts, bro. You, God, and the devil are like this trifecta, all working together. The way I like to look at it is literally the angel and the devil on your shoulder. Actually, maybe I should put a graphic up here as to what I think of it. But I think heaven and hell are states of mind, and I think you actually have a lot more power in deciding the human experience that you're living outside of the social systems that are built to oppress us just perpetually. But I'm actually trying to get to a different point here in this. That isolation will only lead you two directions. Oh, I got a bent middle finger, my bad. Suicide. That's the one option a lot of people go to, because it's just like you can't do this human experience alone. A lot of people don't want to recognize that, and a lot of people don't look deep enough into history to recognize that excommunication was so pivotal, because being excommunicated from a society meant you're probably not connected to the other local tribes or villages around you, so they don't know you, they don't want to help you. You could be a saboteur. You could be in there damaging shit, a villain. So nobody wants to help you from other tribes and other villages. Your own village and tribe that you're supposed to be connected to and support, because there's no internet, there's no social media, they're not fucking with you. You're going to die. Unless you know how to live off the earth and you know how to network yourself and completely lie and change stories and all this. You're going to, that's what excommunication is. All right? So it's weird how we live in a society of such mass surveillance. People almost excommunicate themselves from society. It's not funny. But what I'm trying to say with this conversation, and this is like just as I blurt these ideas out, is you're going to get to such a spot where this society convinces you, bootstrap, bootstrap, bootstrap. You're in poverty because you're lazy and you don't care about work and you don't care about working hard and you don't have any merit and you don't have a college degree. Like, society wants to hate yourself, hate yourself, hate yourself. And if you take that to heart, you're going to feel so worthless that you're going to want to delete yourself. So that's one option. Because if it's a solitude that you created for yourself, there is nobody to save you. You have to save yourself. That's the place that people don't get to. And that's where it leads a lot of people to go to church to seek salvation, because they've cut off anybody that could help save them. Community members, mentors, peers, local authority. They've cut off everybody from helping them. And they've made themselves the only person that can help them. Men go through this a lot. Then they sit there for like a year, blame the whole entire world for not helping them because they cut everybody off to stop anybody from helping them. And then they delete themselves because they realize that's not how life's supposed to work. And the only other way to live other than deleting yourself is by dehumanizing other people to force them to support you in this weird sense of like abusive individualism, to where you're the only person who matters and everybody else is the bane of their existence, or like the meaning of their existence is to serve you and your needs, because we don't want to address the fact that you can't do it yourself. And seeing other people do it themselves makes you insecure. The other option is surrender. That's the thing that I've had to get to, and I really start to believe myself in. It's not surrendering to like the devil, or surrendering to like, oh, life sucks and that's just how it is, black pill. It's surrendering to life is, and you are forever going to be trying to be something, to do something, to have something, to want, to crave, to love, to live. You are always going to be like not suffering, but struggling with life. Now, struggle is a neutral word, because if it's struggle that you're choosing to put on yourself, then you will grow through it. But if it's struggle that you will not take responsibility for, you will only suffer on the other end of it. This is why I say, especially if you have a life, don't start trying to change all of it at once, because that's just going to overwhelm you and make you stick in it. Start to take responsibility for little things and see who wants to help you make those little changes. And watch, I'm telling you right now, people who don't, like, it sounds fucked up, people who don't fuck with you will not allow you to change, bro, because they want to stick with you as long as possible until it becomes literally like blatantly unhealthy to be around you, and then they'll just leave you behind. But the day you wanted to chase a dream that was a lot that they couldn't comprehend, they had to shut you down. Even final thought here. Even when you get to these new levels, facing these new devils, you're not safe. Oh wait, actually, I think I was supposed to finish my conversation about surrender. It's my bad. Because we talked about solitude going into suicide, and then the second option is full surrender. You're surrendering to the, how do I want to word this? I don't want to say like the ambiguity of life, but you're surrendering to the knowing that you cannot control this life. You are simply a byproduct or a consequence of this infinite living that is happening. And you can either take the intelligent route and discover more and more and more of yourself and your awareness and your contribution to this thing, or be ignorant and believe the systems of oppression and ignorance that allow the dehumanization of your peers, if not you, to keep running this parasitic system, rather than to continue to discover the depths and really the heights of humanity and what we can do on this planet. Once you've achieved the dream, it's about maintaining the foundation and elevating to continue to reach that infinite potential that you will never hit, but knowing that every day you try to pursue, you're giving yourself an opportunity to expand into the fullness of who you are, giving yourself more of yourself to appreciate. I don't think a lot of us talk about that. When, like, especially as an artist, you have to realize you're not creating art exclusively for other people to pay you money or to validate you. You're putting out art to remind yourself you're gifted, you're talented, you are somebody who is worthy and who has niche gifts and interests. You should be able to express yourself, and you should be able to appreciate yourself for doing those. I like this episode. I hope we explained everything that I was supposed to explain. Usually I take these and I just and then when I edit them, I'm like, okay, that's good ideas in there. Hopefully this is a good episode. But I actually have another note on here that says after the maintaining and elevating, once you achieve the dream, because that's obviously not the end goal. It's really just it's living the life we want to live until we die. That's the end goal. Because I can't give you no advice for what happens after you die. I'm sorry. I haven't been there yet. But this is something, I guess, like if you happen to be successful and you come from a place where people abandoned you or people discouraged you or tried to like slander your name and shit, people are gonna when people come around to finally accept you, and this is what gets a lot of people up. When people come around late to accept you, more times than not, they're not accepting you because of you or because of what you actually do. They're accepting you because they want privilege of having access to what you get from your position. Mind you, it's not a bad thing to pretty girl, you want to kick it with her, and she needs money. Homie you hanging out with from high school needs money. I'm playing. But it just grows so interesting, especially as a neurodivergent person and you find yourself successful in a neurotypical society. You have to recognize that the same people that bullied you will be your friend, not because they actually like you now or because they actually want to be your friend now. It's because you've done something that they can't do for themselves, or the only way they can access it is through you. So now they have to cosplay your friend or act like they give a about you to hope that you give them what the they want. And that's an even more sadistic life. Jimi Hendrix actually went through this, which is very interesting. You wouldn't even assume that. But Jimi Hendrix was speaking to his, I don't know if it was a manager or one of his peers, and he was saying that he had such an issue, like he had such a difficult time with the ladies when he got famous, because when they wanted him, like they want to have, like they want to fuck a rock star, or they want to get fucked by a rock star, and they want that to take all the drugs and do all this and all this shit, like all like just but Jimmy wanted women who understood him as a human being, like as an artist, as a savant behind the rock star status and the fame and the accolade. But they were never going to see him like that because none of them at that point, especially as a time like where it's just, I mean, groupie fucking mania, their society, it's almost like the riches, and this might be a niche conversation too, but the rich people are allowed to be so surface level because they buy so much shit to stack on top of that surface level identity. It seems like they're not surface level. It seems like they're way more grandiose than still being a shallow kiddie pool. Because all of that money and wealth and material protects them from experience, protects them from trauma, protects them from actual growing beyond the ignorance that allows them access to that wealth. I want what's fundamentally with these videos. I want what's best for you, man. I want what's best for you. And why we have these conversations are literally just so, because I just read the final note of this. The reason why we have these conversations is because, like, I don't want you to suffer unnecessarily in this life because all you did was lack the awareness. That's I don't want like that. That's where so much of my suffering has come from. It's not only not having the awareness or the assistance, but not even knowing that I didn't know how poor and how horrible my circumstances were. And not knowing how manufactured they were and how I don't have to suffer my whole life. I don't have to be poor or wage slave. I don't have to be freaking bouncing from rent to rent or from house to homeless to this and that. I don't have to be doing that all the time my whole life, bro. Like there's a gift that I hold within me, and no matter where I sleep, no matter where I am, no matter who I'm in a relationship with, it's always there. And I need to feed that because that is waiting to feed me. And I really, really, really think I'm in my bag. I don't want to be too cocky or nothing, but I really think I'm in my bag making these videos. And when you guys get on my Substack and start reading my articles, you're going to really see this shit is so real, bro. Like it's the craziest thing. It's the imposter syndrome that I had has been so horrible. And it hurts me so much to know that it's like this is me being direct to my parents now. Like, gang, I didn't do you guys wrong, bro. I honestly, and this is me tooting my own horn. I'm probably the best kid that you could have ever created. But even more importantly, I'm probably the best kid you guys could have ever had because I only needed so little assistance, and you made sure that I was not going to get that. I wasn't going to get it from anybody else, and I was not going to have a basic foundation in my life. To remind me how hurt you guys are from hurting each other and making sure that each other couldn't live lives that you wanted to live. So because I happened to be the last one staying inside that house, I had to take responsibility for your pain and suffering that you didn't get a therapist for, get assistance for. It's so sad. Like a lot of this time in this journey as I've been purging my mind from that type of abuse, it's like a narcissistic household. I'm just trying to, like, I try to make sense of, like, is there something that I did to make these people hate me? But then I also question, like, how the could a parent hate their kid? Like, I get being disappointed in, I get being, like, discouraged by, but, like, and that's when I had to realize it was beyond me. Like, in a world where it's so difficult to have friends, to make friends as an autistic person, as an ADHD person myself, like, and with all the negative critique and horrible inner critic that I have to deal with, now you guys, like, basically destroy my access to having a family whatsoever. Like, I don't know, but I know I'll be successful as fuck, like so successful that any decision I want to make, I'll be able to make. And at that point, I'm gonna continue to make the decision as to, like, decline calls from every single nigga from my family, bro, because I fucking hate every single one of them, bro. Left me here to die believing the lies that my mom was telling them, bro. I hope every single one of you guys can see this shit right here. Make this your wallpaper, bro. This right here. Oh, actually, get my face in it. If you come from my family, bro, and you watching these vlogs lurking like a bitch, probably fuck you, bro. Fuck you with everything I got in me, bro. I fucking hate you, bro. You left me to die, bro, and you listened to my mom tell fucking lies behind my name, bro, but you never listened to me, all the bullshit that she was putting me through. You never listened to my fucking deadbeat ass fuck nigga dad sit on the couch all day, not do a fucking thing, bro. And I had to go fucking seek that male attention. I had to go seek that male guidance my fucking self, bro. I had to go try to live a life of my own while my mom was blaming me for all the bullshit that my dad was fucking putting her through, instead of just fucking holding him accountable. Fuck all that shit, bro. Both of those fucking people are the reason why I made the No Land for Good Man lecture, and that will be a book at some point, hopefully in 2026. But, like, I'm done suffering, bro. I'm done unnecessarily suffering, bro. My people deserve the fullness of me, bro. My people deserve to see me living good, living right, and giving them and my purpose everything that I have to offer, bro. So that's what I came here to do, bro, and I'm starting to realize that I'm so angry because my ambition hasn't been accommodated, bro. My love hasn't been accommodated. My life hasn't been accommodated as it should be. And I'm willing to give myself everything that it takes, bro, to do everything that I came here to do because my people are waiting for me, bro. My people are waiting for me. And I'm thankful for everyone who's been here on the journey up to this point. You are my people, and I thank you guys. And I'm sorry that it feels like at times I feel like I'm letting you down. not giving you the amount of content that I showed, or not being able to meet up with these crazy clips and quotas that these fucking, posting 25 times a day. Like, but I hope you guys know with these videos that I'm sharing, I love you guys so much, bro. And I hope that this information can do so much more for you than it's ever done for me. And hopefully one day we get to meet each other in the real world, bro, and really impact each other's lives, bro, in a positive sense. Because I know the people I'm building in this community, bro. You aren't just a bunch of ignorant, bunch of children losers. Actually, that sounds hater. Children, you're not losers, but you're not a bunch of like internet addicted, brain rotted kids who don't know their ABCs or like taxes or anything. I got an intellectual crew of people in my audience, and I'm very, very thankful that you guys exist, bro. If I'm being dead honest, bro, you guys are the reason that I'm still existing. So, not to put that on your back or anything, because I understand that's a lot, but this opportunity has given me such new perspective on life and so much more belief in myself and everything that I have to offer. I'd love to create a system, especially a support network of people that really give a fuck about me as a human. And I'd love to start my new life off with that foundation. Again, I know I'm not going to find that on social media, probably not, but I'm very happy that I can find that on the back end of giving the world everything that I really am, not hiding, not masking, not lying to anybody anymore. Like, this is me, and I deal with a lot of bullshit, but there's a lot of cool shit that comes with it too. So thank you guys for being here in this video. If you'd like to support the channel, you know what to do. Other than that, catch you guys next time. Real love for you. Remember, if you're my family, you still get one of these. But if you're part of my tribe, Dark Wizards Dungeon, I love you.